right, Coach, no offense intended, but when I see this team, the word that kind of, stands out to me is consistency. Blue collar, maybe is a good way to put it. Is that a great way to kind of describe this team right now?
Thank you. That's exactly how I drew it up. And I think I heard you talking with the players about, the word consistency has been our number one theme for this season. We had a dialogue during the spring, and they just made a conscious decision that they were going to do it. And when you're going to try to be successful and compete for championships, one of the things that has to happen, one of the ingredients has to be consistency. And I tell you what, it's my 23rd year as a coach. This has been the most consistent team that I've coached. I mean, there's not a game that I would sit there and tell you, like, yeah, we didn't show up here. We had a stinker. It's like, no, we showed up for every game. We may have been tired and won, but super proud of them for doing it. I mean, that comes down to the players. They have to make that conscious decision. But we have just had such great leadership this year. It's been player-driven. Caroline Conti, Hal Hirschfeld, our two captains in our leadership group, have really led by example. And it's not just because they're good players. To be honest with you, they're great people. They're great human beings. This team really loves each other. They love each other when they're together soccer-wise. They love themselves when they're off the field. And when you have a women's team, boy, it's like I'm a Star Wars fan, so I call it it's like the Force. You reach inside and touch that part, you can move heaven and earth, and this team has that quality.
A big part of that leadership is because you have some fifth-year athletes here on this team. When they decided to come back in the world of transfer portals, when COVID years and people are taking them and taking fresh opportunities, you had several women choose to come back and be a part of this team and this program because they believed in it. What does that mean for the future of this program, to have players with that sort of buy-in and they're here passing it down? That has to continue to make you optimistic about the future of this program and the imprint that they're leaving on it.
Absolutely. And you have to understand, like here at Clemson, this culmination of getting to this moment, this is 13 years of work here. And, things like this just don't happen overnight. You're laying a foundation, and you try to we talk about it in training areas, like 1% every day. Can we just get a little bit better? And I'm doing the same thing as a coach. And incredibly grateful for the players that have come in that have laid down some of the bricks for us in order to get here. It's special. This is hard to do. It's not easy, right? So I'm super excited, really, for the kids, for them to get this type of experience. Like they'll never forget it. And your other comment, it's a Clemson family. It's such a true statement around here. It's not just about recruiting really good, exciting soccer players. We try to recruit great people. The profile is ever so important, because when you're on a team, you're a family. And if you don't get along, that's not a good recipe. But I've been very fortunate as a coach and very fortunate as a player to be on great teams that had wonderful experiences, and we were together. You're always going to be better when it's the we as opposed to the me.
You talk about 13 years. When did it hit you? We're headed to the College Cup. Obviously, you have that flush of, the clock ticking to zero, and you talk to the team, but when did it really hit you that you go, holy cow, here we go?
I probably didn't have that moment till after the game when the whistle blew, but to be honest with you, I was dreaming of this when I first arrived here in 2010, 2011. It was turn the program around, win an ACC championship, be relevant, be consistent. 10 consecutive years in the NCAA tournament. Look, which isn't easy. You're in the most difficult conference in the country. Not only the most difficult conference and the most challenging sport in all of college sports conferences because of the success of this conference.
Sure.
And to do it in there, I'm really proud for this group of players who have stepped up and met the challenge. And that's part of what our recruiting profile is like. Do you want to come here? Are you ready for the challenge? Can you be a great teammate? Are you ready to work hard? Right? If somebody comes here and they're entitled, they're not going to have a good experience. I'm from New Jersey. I'm sorry. You just got to. I grew up in a blue collar family. You got to work hard, right? I love Kobe Bryant's thing. At the end of the day, you got to put the work in, and that's what these kids have done. They put the work in.
To take on Florida State, a team you guys saw twice this year, they got the better of you. How much are you looking forward to another shot at them? Because, like you said, this is a talented team, and I have no doubt they can beat any team on any day.
Yes. Well, to be honest with you, I'm just glad we're here. I mean, really think about it. We're in the national semifinals. There's only 4 teams left out of over 340 plus Division I teams, and pretty cool to be here for the first time in Clemson women's soccer program history. That's kind of a neat feather in the cap that these kids can carry with them, and pretty cool that the 2 best teams in the ACC are here, and we've always seemed to provide very entertaining games. And Brian's done a great job there at stepping in when Mark Krikorian left away. But you have 2 really good teams that are going to go at it. I think it'll be an entertaining game. It'll be the ACC final game was one of the highest level games I think anybody saw this year in college soccer. So, we're going to try to be true to our game model, try to play to our strengths. We both know it's not going to be an easy game, but we're going to show up and try to do what we do, check the boxes that we can check, and see what kind of result we can get.
Not trying to get too far into your game plan, but saw you talking to the women about slowing down a little bit, about taking space and taking your time until the pressure came, until they started to come towards you. Is that a sense of something you see against Florida State, or is that wanting to make sure that they're taking a breath and taking their time and not getting over-amped because it's the College Cup and it's the first time ever for Clemson women's soccer?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. I've been in championship games, and all of a sudden you got this bolt of energy, and then after about 3 minutes you're like, oh, I'm gassed. I like to use this phrase, it's okay to be human. Things are happening. You walk into a wall. We want them just to walk out. Listen, the good news is we're not going to change an awful lot. We've been operating. We have been consistent with our game plan, our game model, our game approach. So the things that we're looking to do are basically all the things that we've been doing all season. Can we sharpen up a few things? Absolutely. That's what we're trying to. But we're not going to change the bottle here at this stage. We're going to stay true to who we are.
You talked about recruiting earlier.